Elden Ring is a game that is so big and so expansive that it feels like it is really easy to sometimes miss little details or hidden locations. I used to take pride in the fact that I explore every nook and cranny of these types of games, but something that I've learned is that I just kind of suck at it. I'm Bonfire, and these are the 3 most missed locations in all of Elden Ring. First up on the list, we have Celia's Hideaway. This place is essential if you're looking to finish Sorceress Selen's quest line, as well as get Lusat's set and the Stars of Ruin spell. The reason this one is so easy to miss is because it's actually hidden behind an illusory wall, and even after you find this illusory wall, there's many more inside. In order to find the entrance and this illusory wall, you will first want to head to the Church of the Plague and then head north. You can see here on the map where I have kind of highlighted the general area. On your way to the illusory wall, there is a sorcerer waiting to blast you with spells. He's not too difficult, so you should be able to take him out pretty easily. There's also a few items you'll want to pick up along the way. As a side note, if you're playing offline and you don't have any signs from people showing you where to go, you can run around spamming Margit or Mohg's Shackle, which will reveal all the hidden illusory walls as well. Or you just roll around, start smacking things with your sword, like I do here. Once you are inside the hideaway or cave, I'm going to probably call it cave from now on. Once you're inside the cave, there is a bunch of really unfriendly monsters. You've got miners and sorcerers, which you'll see in a lot of caves throughout the game, but you also have those little snail things that hide and shoot you with magic. At one point towards the end, you actually just have a bunch of them fall on your head as you're getting ready to approach the main boss in this dungeon. They suck. But the number one worst part about this whole place is the stupid Revenant. Yep, they just decided to put a Revenant in here to just mess up your whole day. It's not fun. When exploring this cave and all of its nooks and crannies, remember there's about 3 illusory walls in here. I think 3 or 4. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But as you're exploring, you'll come across 2 kind of ending zones. One is the final boss, where you'll fight 3 putrid Crystallians. I'm going to go with Crystallians. You'll fight 3 of those. They're easy if you have a strike weapon. So just keep that in mind. If you have a strike weapon, they're much easier to defeat, as you can stagger them very quickly and give massive critical hits on them. Secondly, you will come across a sealed door. It's kind of big and blue and glowing. If you are far enough in Selen's quest line, you will be able to then interact with this door, walk through, talk to Lusat. He'll give you a spell. If you come back here once you finish the quest line, he will not be here, and you can pick up his armor, which gives you a lot of bonuses for star-type spells. But at the end of the day, this place sucks. I don't like it. It's not fun, but it's got a lot of good stuff. So I'd highly recommend checking it out. It definitely would not be a FromSoft game if there wasn't a horrifying and scary monster that kills you, grabs you, and takes you off to some faraway place. Elden Ring is no different. If you remember in Dark Souls 3, there were those dudes with the cages on their back. They stuff you in the cage and take you off to another location. Bloodborne had those big hooded figures that love to just punch you, kick you, do all the horrible things to you, and then they grab you, stuff you in their bag, and take you off to just the most horrible place imaginable. In Elden Ring, we have the Abductor Virgins. These guys are real creepy looking. They got sometimes big old scythe hands, sometimes they have big old blade hands, but inevitably they have a bazillion hands that come out of their stomach and try to stuff you inside of their kind of version of the Iron Maiden. In order to reach a secret location in Volcano Manor, as well as a cool tunnel that takes you to Mount Gelmir much earlier in the game than you might have expected, you will need to be murdered to death by an Abductor Virgin and then taken away. To find this monstrosity, you'll first want to head to the Schoolhouse Classroom Site of Grace in Raya Lucaria. Now, if you remember that gigantic wheel that you probably jumped on to go up and up and up to get to this location, well, now just jump back on that wheel, except take it all the way down to the ground, where you will find an Abductor Virgin waiting to destroy you. Now, if you see here in my footage, I'm much higher level than I probably should have been when going to this spot, because I, again, forgot that it existed, but I wanted to show y'all how to get there. So let's watch me be murdered over a long period of time. I am also just now realizing that underneath the face of these guys, they're holding a baby, like a weird ceramic or metal just statue of a baby. That's terrifying. One thing to note too about getting to this location is that you are going to want to not die by its big buzzsaw hands, but let it grab you, let it pull you inside of it, chomp you up, and do its dirty deeds to you. After your quick loading screen, you will be teleported to Volcano Manor, where you will see a bunch of broken down abductor virgins. You'll see a bunch of cages. There will be a lot of bats everywhere trying to scream at you and attack you. Just make your way through, picking up any items you might find along the way. Eventually, you will come across another site of grace, and once you are there, you can actually teleport out of here if you do not want to be here anymore. Don't teleport out though, because then you will not have the lovely experience of seeing all that this hidden area has to offer. One of them being more bats and a lava-filled pathway to take you to the boss. Actually, it's two bosses, two abductor virgins that you get to fight. One of them using the Giza wheel hands, the other has the scythe hands. If you do manage to defeat them, you will be rewarded with a weapon that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I know it's going to be wrong. After that, head forward and you will see another site of grace, as well as a way out of this abomination of a cave. Welcome to Mount Gelmir. Before I talk about this last hidden area, I just want to say this is the #1 commented area that I didn't talk about in my last video. And by that I mean there were many people that were like, how could you not put this one in there? Well, I didn't. So it's in this one. And that's how to get to the Great Dragon Placidusax, the secret boss in Elden Ring. Now, there's many secret bosses, but this, I think, is the one that everyone considers like the quote-unquote secret boss in Elden Ring. To get to this big doinker of a Dragon Lord, you need to first head to Farum Azula. Once you have found the Beside the Great Bridge site of grace, turn around and head back down the elevator you just came up. The reason I recommend doing this first is because this is the closest site of grace to this boss fight. Once you get to the bottom of the elevator, I would recommend killing all the beast men waiting for you. You could run past them if you want, but if you kill them, you won't have them throwing things at you or shooting lightning at you that could potentially throw off your jumping as you traverse a dangerous cliff area. Like many areas I've talked about before, I completely missed this boss fight on my first playthrough, and it wasn't until watching videos after the fact that I was like, what the heck is Dragonlord Placidusax? Well, turns out I just completely missed these cliffs that you can jump off onto floating platforms. After traversing the shattered floating cliffside, you will find yourself on a much bigger portion of a wall that has been shattered and is now floating. You'll find a little groove that you can lie down in. Do that. After watching a very calm yet chilling cutscene, you will get to fight Dragonlord Placidusax. Now, my build was absolutely not set up for this guy, but how often is your build actually set up for a boss fight? That being said, I have way too much health, and I probably should have died multiple times in this fight, and I end up dying at the end because I got extremely cocky and just kind of started not paying attention to mechanics or giant AoEs or anything else. But this is one of the coolest boss fights in this game. It is so fun, it's challenging, the atmosphere is awesome, the music is incredible. If you're able to kill Placidusax, you will be rewarded with a gazillion runes and the remembrance of the Dragonlord. You can take this remembrance back to the Round Table Hold and turn it in for either the Dragon King's Cragblade, which is an awesome heavy thrusting sword with one of the coolest weapon skills I've ever seen in a Souls game, or you can also get Placidusax Ruin, which is a spell or basically a dragon incantation that allows you to just spew golden breath all over. It's real cool. This guy's awesome. Go fight him. I'll also just go ahead and skip to the end where you guys get to see me get really arrogant and cocky and get killed by him. So here you go. Enjoy. So there you have it. Those are what I believe are probably the 3 most missed locations in all of Elden Ring. Like I said before, I missed the last one on my first playthrough, and it wasn't until much later on that I learned that Placidusax actually existed. Let me know in the comments if you missed them as well, or if there's anything between these 2 videos that I missed that I should put in a future video. If you found this helpful or informative in any way, or like I say in all my other ones, you just like listening to my voice crack, be sure to subscribe, because there's more where that came from if you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.